Hey everybody, this is going to be my Turbo Jank Elden Ring review. I know you guys have been wanting me to do an Elden Ring review, and this is what you're going to get. It's not going to be some ace thing. I also made a huge mistake. I went to New Game Plus before I did this, which means I can't really show you anything. But I kind of figured that might be for the best to not show you guys a lot, because this game is very wide. It's very large. It's an open world game, and they do mean open world, but it's like an open world linear game. I guess that's one way to put it. This game is open world. Elden Ring is open world. Now, for me, I'm a casual player. Well, actually, okay, I'm not. I haven't played much Dark Souls, though. I've never played any Dark Souls other than this game. I would say I'm a very competent gaming player. I do play games pretty well. And we can see here, I put 100 hours into it, most of it last week. So I've beaten the game. I've done most of the bosses. Not all of them, but most of them. And this is going to be me telling you about the game. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? What can you do in this game? Well, obviously, I think the best thing I can tell you guys, for anyone on the fence still, anyone who doesn't know if they want to play the game or not, that this game is limited in that it's not like super, what's the way to put it? The combat is not super ultra thrilling. There's not a million different things you can do, but the things that you can do, it's diverse. You can use spells, you can use melee combat, you can use a shield, you can use a weapon. The weapons have different attack patterns, different heavy attacks. Now look, you're not going to be getting a completely unique weapon that totally changes the game fundamentally. For the most part, the combat's going to be spam attacks, dodge, attack, dodge, attack, dodge. Like, that's going to be the fundamental aspect. But what do you do in there? Well, there's a lot of diversity. And for those of you who like diversity, for those of you who like being able to replay a game or take an open world game and make your character your own, it is fundamentally, this is an RPG. This is, if I could go into my inventory here, this is a game that has stats. You have vigor, mind, endurance, strength, dexterity, intelligence, faith, arcane. Whenever you level up, you put a point into one of these. You have weapons, you have items, you have consumables. It's a lot like older type of RPGs. You can make and craft these consumables. You might need to go farm a bit. Now, is there a lot of farming? No. I actually had never had to farm, but if you wanted to, you could. You could farm for an item that boosts item discovery. You could explore for it. The exploration of this game is such a big part. How does the combat work? Well, okay, I'm using a level 1 weapon here. This isn't my real weapon, but let me try to pull out a weapon that would at least do... no, I don't want to use that one. And I guess this is a good way to show you there's a lot of different weapons in this game. None of these are duplicates that I know of. Okay, there's a duplicate. These are all different weapons. There's a lot of them. They have different scalings. They have different builds. Do you want to do a strength, dex, faith build? Do you want to do a faith build with other things? I mean, there's just a lot. There's just so many different things you can do in this game and how you build your character. Now, again, is it the most diverse thing in the world? No. But can you, for example, decide to be Darth Maul with a twin-bladed weapon and go Faith? And yeah, actually, you're perfectly allowed to do that. And I'm on New Game Plus, so using a vanilla weapon, I'm doing less damage. But you can see here that that's kind of how the combat plays out. Most of the weaker enemies, you're going to try to get into a hit stun. You're going to try to beat the crap out of them. I could try to show you a more advanced enemy. I am on mouse and keyboard over here. And that's kind of how it goes. So you're going to try to find new weapons. You're going to level up your weapons. You're going to try to kill bosses. That's pretty much the game. How is the combat? Is the combat fun? Yeah, actually, running around the map and fighting these people and beating the crap out of them, I'm going to be dead honest. It's really fun. What I'm doing here is going to be fun. And you're going to find a lot of different enemies. Everything you see, you can touch for the most part. You can go out there in the world, you can find anyone, you can do anything, you can find any of these items, you can... I mean, here's Rivers of Blood. It's a katana. I don't even know. I've never even used this weapon. What does it do? Each of the boss weapons... I mean, there's two types of weapons. You got a basic weapon, and you got a boss weapon. Boss weapons have a special weapon art. You can see Spinning Slash, Death Flare, Flowing Form, Onyx Lords... Well, every of these weapons are going to typically have their own unique attack. So this one's got the Blood Slash, which is, I mean, you can see it uses my mana. I did just kind of use all my mana. And, you know, that's cool. And you got all these new weapons, and you can find them, and you can upgrade them, and it's really cool. Now, there's an issue. The non-boss weapons, the basic one, so Mace, axe, hammer. Those ones can be a little bit difficult to level up and use properly, but the boss weapons are pretty easy. You don't really have to farm. It's pretty easy to do. You can see here, so if I use my... Okay, I'm not very good at using this weapon, but, you know, it's still... Okay, well, I'm getting my ass kicked here, but, you know, this is kind of how the combat works, is, you sort of... You know, so you got... And you would try to dodge roll these attacks. If I was better at the game, I would maybe be doing that more, and that's something to consider, is because it is an RPG and it is an old school RPG, you are perfectly... Don't listen to any of the Dark Souls fans who say anything about this game, okay? If you want to just over-level your character and come in and kick the shit out of everyone, this game says, yeah, sure, go for it. They don't care. The game doesn't stop you from doing anything. It doesn't try to... A lot of people think that Dark Souls gates you into being an overly difficult game that only the masters of the craft can play. Nothing can be further from the truth. There is nothing about this game that's going to force you to actually get that good. Are you going to have to learn to dodge for the most part? Yeah. But here's the thing, you don't actually have to. And let me show you what I mean here. In any of the difficult areas of the game, you are perfectly capable of doing this. What is this? You can summon a special spirit summon. Now, some of the Dark Souls fans will say, oh, that you shouldn't do that because blah, blah. They can literally suck my dick, you dumb piece of shit. And now, once I have this guy out, and he's got a shitty weapon for him, but that's a mimic, you get him. So, I mean, you can get any... Oh, God, there's just so many. So, if I look into my summons, these are all the different summons in the game. You got... Dolores, the Sleeping Puppet, the Mimic Tier, the Bloodhound Fio, Glintstone Sorcerer, Twin Sage Sorcerer, you got normal, so you got all these summons, and you're only even allowed to use one at a time, so you can see, you got so many different summons, you got so many different things that you could want to do at any given time. There's so many options in this game, and I would say that's the most important part about this game, is once again, do not listen to the Dark Souls players. If you want to do something in this game, you are allowed to do it. If you want to summon... Here, let me see. Does he change his equipment with me? If I want to, for example, dual wield katanas. Where are my katanas? There's so many fucking weapons in this game. Katana. If I want to dual wield katanas and hold on here. I'm good at this game. No, wait, which one is it? There we go. If I want to dual wield katanas, he doesn't change. And I want to just have dual katanas and slash people with katana shit, I can do that. If I want to pull out a giant fuck you doom sword, and I want to, hell, I want to do more than that. I don't want one giant fuck you doom sword. I want 2 giant fuck you doom swords. I'm allowed to do that. The game says, yeah, fuck it. Why not, dude? Just go for it. And I am allowed to take out these giant doom swords, and I'm allowed to play the game like this. That was an enemy. And yeah, there you go. You want to do that? Like that's honestly, that's the game. If you want to cheat, if you're interested in the open world and you just want to play the open world and you want to run around and you want to level up your character and you want to just have fun and fight lots of new enemy types and run around the world and just do this shit, that's what this game is good for. The bosses, I'll be honest, they can be a bit dumb. Don't listen to the Dark Souls players. You don't need to enjoy the bosses to enjoy this game. If you want to make a mage build, let me see if I can show you this real quick. If you want to make a mage build where you have your mimic tier, let me see if I don't one-shot this guy. Okay, I did. Well, I guess that proves my point. If you want to build where you sit back and you just chuck lightning bolts at a boss and you use a summon to tank it so you can do that, and you don't really want to deal with the bosses, you want to go the easy route, you want to dual wield katanas and summon down a summon that mimics you and dual wields katanas and you spam bleed the boss and kill it that way, go for it. It is perfectly allowable, and that is something you can do. I know I've been emphasizing this point, but it's because the people that play Dark Souls are practically trying to gatekeep Elden Ring out of you. If you want to be a mage and you want to run around and be a mage and cheese and do mage shit, That's cool. You can do that. Like, you can get much cooler spells than the ones I'm using right now. This isn't even one of the coolest spells. I call this like a mid-cool spell. And yeah, that would basically be the game. So far as armor, there's so many armor types. The UI for the armor can be a bit fucky-wucky. But I'm not trying to review the game. I'm just trying to tell you, look, is this game fun? And yeah, I mean, to be completely blunt with you, I would say this game is fun. I really enjoyed this game. I have my ups, I have my downs. Once I realized I didn't really enjoy the bosses, I did end up just going Mimic tier. And I just used Mimic tier, and I'm kind of doing like a Paladin Healy build. This Mimic tier is extremely tanky. He will heal himself. I did give him lightning, so he'll take aggro from range if the bosses run away from me. I beat the entire game this way. I would call myself a competent player. I am competent. Would you struggle potentially if you were bad at video games? Yeah. And if you're bad, like if you actually consider yourself a bad player, I would probably not play Elden Ring. But the thing is, even a bad player could over level. Even a bad player could run around. And here, let me see if I can. And by the way, you're not allowed to summon anywhere. Only in the hard areas. That's considered a hard area. So if I walk all the way out here, you'll see my Mimic tier. Yeah, so he goes away. So these are your save points. And look, just to be clear, this game is pretty... Sometimes it punishes you for dying. A lot of times, it kind of just doesn't. A lot of times, dying in this game is not really that punished. You lose your souls, which are basically your XP. So you can see them... actually, you can't because my camera's coming in. So I have souls, and those are basically your XP. If you die, they'll go to where you die. Enemies will respawn. You'll go back to one of these spawn points here. They're fairly lenient. You'll see... I don't even have all of them. There's another one over here, even. There's some spawn points everywhere. You're never really going to have to do a huge corpse run. I've never had a bad boss fight. You can see you got a horse. The horse, you can just get on the horse. You can get off the horse. You can run past anyone. It doesn't give a shit until you're fighting a boss. For the most part, there's some castles where you can't ride your horse. But for the most part, you can get on your horse. You can just run down. These are some Caden dudes. They had some cool armor and a weapon. I farmed them for that early game. This weapon's not so great on horse. But you can see, if I use, this is my Malekith's Black Blade. And, oh, okay, he kicked my ass. Okay, he kicked my ass again. Maybe I should stop getting my ass kicked. And that would kind of be the early game gameplay. So you would, you know, you hit him, and oh, he hits you, and oh, he did a double. Okay, he did kill me. So, oh, wait, actually, I should let him kill me just so I can show you that. So I can see, okay, he killed me. And a lot of Dark Souls players would be like, oh, you lost your souls. Oh, man, what's going to happen? Well, what is going to happen? Well, let's watch. It's not really going to be that hard. Now, so far as optimization and things like that on PC, look, there are some optimization issues. I'm 32. I've been playing video games for a long time. It didn't kill the game for me. It was frustrating at times. It didn't kill the game for me. Some cutscenes stuttered. Other than that, not so much. So what do? I get on my horse, I run over here, and I pick up my souls. Once you spend them, you spent them. So it's not like you can de-level your character. Once you spent them, you spent them. And then... here we are, this guy respawned, and then we just go kick his ass again. This time, though, I'm actually going to kick his ass. We're going to use Malekith's Black Blade, and here's my special weapon art for this. And that uses mana, and you can get more mana. If you don't want to focus on mana, you don't need to focus on mana. You can focus on just swinging your great sword. You want to get lots of stamina. You want to get lots of strength. You want to dual-wield giant fuck you doom great swords that just fucking annihilate everything in front of you. You're allowed to do that. You want to use double daggers and stab people and bleed them. You're allowed to do that. And that's again, I can't emphasize that enough. That's what this game is so good at. In fact, if I could go back to the spawn point, and by the way, you're allowed to do this at any time. This game is so casual friendly, it's actually kind of mind-blowing. It has fast travel, it has running past mobs to get shit. It's so casual friendly, it's weird. I don't know how to describe it because so many Dark Souls people will look at a game like this and they'll tell you that it's hardcore, you can die, enemies do lots of damage. Yes, enemies do lots of damage. I am over-leveled for this. For the most part, you will get your ass kicked by these enemies, okay? But it's easy to get your souls back. It's easy to level up. It's easy to out-level these people. It's easy to upgrade your weapon. It's not that hard to play through all of this, okay? I promise you, if you're at least somewhat competent at the game, you don't need to be a god, but if you're somewhat competent, you'll do fine. And you got all these weapons. I mean, here's another boss weapon, and what does it have? It has a spinning slash. That did special attack. And here, let me show you. This is what I want to show you guys. So for spells, if you don't want to play melee, you don't even want to play melee. You're like, I don't like melee. I like being a mage. Oh, okay. Well, here's a cutscene. I'm probably gonna skip past this here in a second. The plot in this game is The right way I would have to describe the plot in this game is that for the most part it kind of uses Dragon Ball Z logic. It introduces characters, they're badass, they act badass. It is badass. One of the characters straight up goes in the sky and grabs a meteor and tries to blow you up with it. And it's fucking cool. And it doesn't try to explain it. It doesn't try to do like, oh, the midichlorians in his blood allowed him to do that. No, it just says, look, this guy's so fucking badass. He just ran in the fucking sky, grabbed the sky fucking sun power, and he is going to blow you the fuck up, so you better dodge it. And that's just how it goes. And you better dodge it. Because this dude, he's got the power of the goddamn sun. Why? Because he fucking does. Okay, let's skip past this. What did I want to show you guys? Spells. Oh, not you. No. And if you're not interested in the story, you're allowed to do this. Yep, you can do this non-stop. Although I think I have to hold her hand at some point, which is... Okay, so here we go. So we can memorize a spell. So here are my spells, and you can memorize more spells as you go on. It's okay. The UI for the spells, I'll be honest, it's not the greatest, particularly mid-combat. But if you want to do any of this shit, so like look how many spells there are. I probably know a tenth of them. So I want to do this. What is this? Briars of Punishment. Wounds caster to unlock a trail of Briar Thorns. So if I want to do this, we have to, first, we need to get out, you need a spellcasting item. I have a little seal over here in my other hand, so I can actually one-hand the halberd while also having spells. And let me go through my spells. We got Briars of Punishment, which I'm not allowed to use. Why am I not allowed to use Briars of Punishment? Why am I not allowed to use the Briars of Punishment? I'm not sure. But you can see, for at least my character, I have buffs, because I was kind of doing a paladin thing. So there's a damage buff, a damage debuff. There's a heal over time effect, this one. So, for those of you, if you want to do a paladin with a buff build, you can do that. And I summon Mimic Tear. My Mimic Tear buffs me during bosses as well. I'm not sure why I couldn't use that. I must be doing something not quite right. But there's one spell I want to show you. Here we go. Oh, wait, we can't do that because it needs 3 slots to learn because it's a really powerful spell. So this one requires 3 memory slots to learn. And what is it? What's this? And that's something you can just do. If you want to be a mage and you want to have a fucking dragon head come above you and shoot giant fire shit at everyone and just do that. If you want to kill the knight by being real sneaky and walking up and backstabbing him, yeah, you can do that. If you just want to be like, hey, dragon, you're allowed to do this too. Now, as you see here, the stealth mechanics in this game could, they could use a bit of work. I mean, this guy's got a trumpet, so he'll try to... Yeah, okay, so you'll see here, he'll call everyone in the camp up, and then I'll be like, oh no, not everyone in the camp. And you can see if they get hit, so, you know, you'll probably die to these guys early game pretty hard. I mean, they're not easy. Nothing in this game is easy. That's something important to learn. Nothing in this game is easy. Will it kill you unfairly? At the beginning, yeah, actually it kind of will. That's actually a complaint I have. At the beginning of the game, it will kill you unfairly a few times, and I don't agree with that. But it does cut that shit out pretty quickly. It seems to sort of be like a weird, wacky hazing process. And it's just fun. God, I don't know how to describe it. The weapons have weight to them. Everything has weight to them. Using this weapon, even using the oversized thing, I mean, it's got weight, it's got sound effects, it swings your screen real nice. It's just cool. That's my description of this game. It's just cool. And you can, once again, there's so many items, so much shit. And that's my description of this game. Honestly, that's my review of it. It's just cool. Is it the most perfect game ever? No. Is it unfairly killing you at the start? Yeah. Is it optimized well? So, just to be clear to anyone watching this, I don't know if recording this is going to be perfectly fine. I have noticed some hiccups on my OBS. For me, on my end, it's fine. I'm getting a smooth FPS. Nothing feels bad. The recording, maybe. There are some stutters. Some of the bosses stutter. Some of the bosses are unfun. I would say the bosses are probably the worst part about this game. That's probably gonna piss a lot of Dark Souls players off. But I think if you ranked everything and something had to be the worst, bosses would be the worst aspect of this game. I love this world. The first half of the game is basically Japanese Skyrim. The second half turns into more of a boss rush thing. So there can be a little bit of an issue, let's call it, there when you get to the second half of the game, but it's not really that bad. I mean, you look at all this shit you have to explore. These are all locations. I probably don't even have all of them. I definitely don't have all of them. Over here, I was kind of phoning it in, if I'm gonna be honest with you. But so much of this stuff is cool. That's this game. Will Hashinshin recommend it? Yeah. With all the faults I just mentioned, with all the issues I just mentioned, with all the things I said are bad, I would still, at the end of the day, yes, I would recommend this game. So, there you go. There's my review. Thank you all for watching. This is the best review I'm ever going to make. Thank you.